This video will show you most of the setup items in Internet Explorer, the Microsoft version of the browser, that you need to go through prior to using the Connect-to-Build website. A number of settings are required so that you can request payment using pop-up windows on our website. To start with, I want to show you that these settings are also outlined in a help document. If you click on the help document, the help button down here with the blue question mark pops up a window showing you a list of PDF documents, and what I'm going to go through describes most of what is in this document. This is a multi-page document that indicates and shows you how to go through these settings, and now I'm going to show you what those settings are for the most part. The first thing I want to say is that to get to most of the settings that you need to change, you need to locate a key on your keyboard labeled ALT, usually found to the left and or right of your spacebar on your keyboard. It is ALT. I hold it down. You want to hold it down, and while holding it down, tap the T as in tools, or T as in Tom, to find the menu that has pretty much all the settings that we're going to change. The first setting I want to show you is the compatibility view settings. If you have Microsoft Internet Explorer version, I believe it's 10 or greater, like 10 or 11, you will find this on your menu. If you have 9 or earlier, I do not think this is available on there, so just skip past this section. But I'm going to walk through this. I'm going to go ahead and select this item from that menu. It is going to pop up a window allowing me to type in the Connect-to-Build website. So I will type in connect-to-build.com. Usually it comes up automatically, and I'm going to click the Add button, and it's going to drop it down into this big white box. That will enable the Connect-to-Build website to operate under compatibility view and any other site that's in here as well. The second thing I want to show is a series of options that we need to change. I'm going to go back to that menu that we were at by holding down the ALT key and tapping the T as in Tom, or tools, and go all the way down to the very end. The last option on that menu is called Internet Options. That's going to pop up a window that has a number of tabs going across the top, and I'm just going to walk through all the settings that I want to show you how to change. The first one is locate the section down in here labeled Browsing History. You'll spot a button labeled Settings. Go ahead and click that. And the most advantageous setting and the cleanest setting for consistent behavior is to, in these series of circles here, select the very top one by clicking in it, and that'll put that dot in that very top one labeled Every Time I Visit the Web Page. In addition, you may have a somewhat larger number in here. I suggest that you delete it and use the minimum number, which is 8. Type in 8 there. Now, what both of these settings in combination will do is they will provide the Internet Explorer the opportunity and the likelihood that every time it visits the page, it's going to check for any updates that happen on the page. Any other settings in combination will do what's called caching data on your computer. Instead of hitting our website and looking for updates, it goes through some sort of process where it attempts to figure out if there's a newer version on the website, and then goes ahead and downloads it, or if it does not detect the new version, it just grabs the version of the web page from your local computer and displays it. Sometimes that is out of date and it is not detected that there is an update, and this can cause problems. So I highly recommend that you use these settings. I'm going to click OK. It takes me back to the Internet Options view, and now I'm going to go to the next tab over labeled Security. And the tab, or rather the icon I'm interested in, is this Trusted Sites icon with a green check mark. I'm going to click it to select it, highlighted in blue there, and click the Sites button just below it to the right. Again, it pops up a window similar to what I just saw earlier, with a smaller box, a big white box, and then down here you're going to see this little box, and usually what happens is you'll have a check mark in it. Now, in my case, the website is already in the big white box, but what I recommend that you do is you uncheck, you make sure that there's no check mark here, and in here you type in the Connect-A-Bill website, and then go ahead and click Add, and that will drop it down into the big white box. Once you have it in there, click Close, and we'll move to the next setting. The tab over from Security is labeled Privacy, and most folks will turn on the pop-up blocker on their Internet Explorer, and that's the way I have mine as well, such that it will have a check mark in here. Now what that does is that blocks pop-ups on pretty much most websites. I'm going to suggest that you come over here and click the Settings button and add our website as an exception to that rule. Similar to the other things we looked at, there's a smaller box, a big box, and I'm going to suggest that you go ahead and type in the connectabill.com website here and click Add to drop it down here, such that when you come to our website, this is an exception, therefore pop-ups will not be blocked on our website. Click OK on that. Come back here, and there are additional settings that I want to show you. I'm going to go back to the Security tab here, and I just highly recommend that you go to the document and print these out, but I'm going to go show you kind of the where they are at quickly. If you click on the custom level, you're going to see these organizational units here, and generally the ones that are all the way to the left of this white box are the organizational categories, I guess, and underneath that you're going to have an indented number of subcategories, and then each one of those has a setting. I'm going to scroll past the first couple here. Now yours may not be exactly like mine, but they're typically similar. So I'm going to scroll past the .NET framework here and this .NET framework and show you that most of the settings that I recommend changing are in this category called ActiveX Controls and Plugins. And again, those are outlined specifically in that help document 01 reference. And just walk through those settings and change those as outlined in there. Now when you click OK after making those changes, often you get a pop-up. I didn't get it here because I didn't change anything, but it'll warn you that you are changing the security settings on your browser, and is it okay to do that? And you want to answer the affirmative, yes, go ahead and do it. Now lastly, this is not something that you can see me do, but I have also in that help document outlined where sometimes toolbars are installed on your Internet Explorer. And typically what a toolbar will look like on your Internet Explorer is it will have kind of a white box similar to this, but not exactly like this, somewhere else in the area at the top of your web browser up here. And it will have some sort of a search thing similar to this, but not exactly like this, over in this area or maybe down a little bit. And once again, I recommend that you go to that help document to figure out how to uninstall or disable those types of search toolbars. They tend to interfere with the behavior of a lot of websites, including ours.